1 year ago this week, terror came to the United States in the form of two armed radical Islamists in San Bernardino, California. But here we are 1 year later, and a lot is about to change when it comes to how this country fights extremists. Counterterrorism expert and author of Defeating Jihad, Dr. Sebastian Gorka, joins me now. Good evening, Doctor. You know, it was a year ago, and I think most of us clearly remember San Bernardino. Before Christmas, a co-worker ends up shooting 14 people and injuring many more. And I tried to find out what happened to those people who were family members. And it turns out that there are charges that are filed against the brother and sister-in-law of Syed Farouk, and they were arrested on federal charges of marriage fraud. And then the wife and her sister are charged with an immigration marriage fraud case as well. So does this speak, and these cases have not yet been disposed of by the feds. Is this something that you would consider part of a predictable Islamic jihad where they're bringing in spouses like this?
Absolutely, especially if you look at how the federal agencies dropped the ball completely when it came to Malik and Farouk, the San Bernardino murderers. I mean, right now, this is a woman whose pattern of life wasn't closely examined. The fact that she went to a Muslim seminary before she came to the United States, and also that her Facebook posts weren't scrutinized by the State Department that was handling the first contact with the individual applying for a visa. So, yeah, there are certain indicators always. This idea of lone wolfism is a complete fallacy. The concept that somebody sitting in their basement goes online and then suddenly becomes a jihadi, totally bogus, Judge. There's always a broader pattern.
Clearly. And I think that in the United States, we have to start looking at the jails, and we have to start looking at the mosques, and we have to start getting into the community and those areas and those cities where other people are not going. There are a lot of areas in terms of the homeland that we need to look at. But you know what's interesting is the shooter's mother, Rafia Farouk, and the sister have not been charged criminally. However, Minnesota Life Insurance Company filed a civil lawsuit alleging that they knew of the planned attack because they were in the apartment, and yet no charges against them. So, I mean, you know, clearly you've got a whole group involved. But I want to now move into what you think in terms of the new administration and how they're going to be handling this kind of thing differently.
Just look at who President-elect Donald Trump is picking. We have the first significant pick, Lieutenant General Mike Flynn, former director of the Defense Intelligence Agency, the man who wrote the book on counterterrorism, Field of Fight, that everybody needs to have a look at. You have now this legendary Marine, Mad Dog Mattis, who will be nominated for Secretary of Defense. You have Pompeo, first in his class at West Point, who will be director of CIA. You have the former Alabama AG Sessions, who will be becoming the Attorney General. This is stunning. I mean, you could not imagine a better A-team come January 20th. And counterterrorism policy, it will be like night and day, Judge. We will finally take the war to the jihadis. And
we will finally, I believe, with all of those great nominations, be in a position where we can identify the problem, actually say what it is, and then execute. Dr. Sebastian Gorka, always good to have you on Justice. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Street Justice from Rockefeller Center, next.